Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Let's go!
What is up? What is up? Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I am your boy, Niner Sickness, with the Niner Sickness Report. Good afternoon. Good afternoon on this lovely Saturday. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the show. For those that haven't seen me in a few days, I apologize. I have been underneath the weather. And feeling a little bit better today, so I wanted to come on and see how you guys are doing tonight. What's up, Chemo? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Glenn, how you doing, Glenn? Kathy, how you doing? Good to see you. Maverick, what's up, brother? What's up? Joe, what's up, Joe? How you doing, brother? Welcome. Ronnie Richardson, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the show. Do me a favor, if you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you smash the like button. Smash that like button for me. Make sure you smash that like button. And if you're watching me on Facebook, make sure you share my video. I'm not going to be long. I missed you guys. I was not able to do my show yesterday with the guys on the NWA because I wasn't feeling good. Wednesday night, it was kind of a rough patch. And then Thursday and Friday was terrible. Started feeling a little bit better today, man. So I wanted to come on and chit chat with you guys. What's up, Edwin? How you doing, sir? Roberto, what's up, brother? Jason Parks, hola. What's up, brother? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Hey, I need a Trey Lance jersey before June 26th. Hit me up after the show, bro. We'll talk. Definitely hit me up after the show. What's up, Tom? How you doing, sir? So, we have a lot to talk about today. As you know, there have been some changes with the 49ers in the receiving core. We had Marquise, and we went ahead and cut him, and we brought in Bernie in his place. So I don't know what the deal is there. I know these are just body camp individuals that are coming in for the body camp, but I'm looking forward to seeing what some of the receivers that we do have in camp are going to do this year. Besides Deebo Samuel, of course, and Brandon Ayuk, I'm curious to see how Richie James is going to do, Benjamin is going to do. I want to see these other receivers step up. Who is going to be the one to step up and play receiver number 3 for our 49ers this year. We know we have the 1 and the 2 covered, but I'm curious to who's going to step up and really fill in that spot at number 3. Is it going to be Jalen Hurd? He hasn't played for 3 years. Is it going to be Benjamin? Who knows? This offseason, these OTAs, training camp, are going to be fun to keep an eye on. We didn't have this last year. We got the dates. For those of you guys that don't really care too much about preseason, then it doesn't matter. But if you're like me and you care about preseason, especially these players need to play, they need to kind of get acclimated into the type of football that we're going to be playing this year. I think that having preseason is very important. So we got the dates. And the good news, the good news for the 49ers is we're not going to leave California. We're not leaving California for the 3 preseason games. We have 2 home games, and the only game that we're playing away, we're playing in San Diego. So not too bad right there. Thank you, Chemo. I've been drinking a lot of water. It's been helping, but I appreciate it, brother. I mentioned you and my cousins to my cousin. He's a big Niner fan and a few others. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate your love and support for my channel. Thank you so much. What's up, Papi Pablo Triple X? What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Benjamin and Sanu are going to go off. I hope so. Excuse me. I apologize. Like I said, I'm still recovering, so please bear with me. I'm going to be going through some pictures that was taken in camp, and we're just going to talk about it, okay? We're just going to talk about these pictures, and we're just going to have some fun. Are you guys ready? I'm waiting to finally see what Jalen Hurd does. Me too, Glenn. Me too, bro. It's way overdue. I don't know what this kid is going to do for the 49ers. What I saw 3 years ago, I can't believe it's already been 3 years since I watched him play in that first preseason game against the Cowboys. He looked pretty good. Unfortunate because of injuries, we haven't gotten an idea what this kid's about. So I'm with you, Glenn. Hopefully this will be the year he gets it together medically and is able to perform and play well. I hope this will be the year. Let's see here. So, all right. So there's Debo. You got Benjamin. You got Brandon Ayuk. And then you got the 2 new kids, sporting 41 and 38. This offseason is going to be fun to watch. Then you got our big boy right there, Eric Armstead, ready to go. I'm looking forward to see what Eric Armstead is going to do this year. We're getting Nick Bosa back healthy with the pressure of Nick Bosa on one side. Hopefully with the addition of the kid that we picked up from the Rams, it would open the doors and open up the availability for Eric Armstead to play like he played in 2019. Let's hope we get the 2019 version of Eric Armstead. I'm excited to see what this kid is going to do in 2021. 41 is not Mosley. I believe he changed his number. I believe that Mosley is number 4. Glenn, Mosley is now number 4. And Jason Verrett is number 2. There's the famous hill. The famous hill that was implemented a few years. Look at that hill, man. Can you imagine running up that hill? Ooh-wee. Not me. There's Brandon Ayuk. This kid is special. I cannot wait to see this kid year 2. I believe he had a wonderful, great year in year 1 in 2020 amongst all this COVID and no OTAs and no preseason. This kid was on fire in 2020. So imagine now year 2 with OTAs, mini camp, preseason. This kid, I believe, is going to be on fire, and he's going to be one hell of a receiver for your San Francisco 49ers. Damn straight. What's up, Jay Avila? I'm assuming the coaching staff likes what they see out of Jaden, or else they would have part ways. You mean Jaden? Oh, okay. You mean Jalen. Jalen Hurts, not Jaden, but Jalen. But I got you. I hope so. Damn, I got a new jersey for him now. Oh, man, yeah, he's number 4, bro. He moved to number 4. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that, brother. There's Mr. Smiles. There's your boy, Jimmy Garoppolo. I really wish the best for this kid. I really want Jimmy Garoppolo to have a great year. I really do. He deserves it. I understand a lot of us, we want to see the new toy. We want to see Trey Lance, and we're excited to see what Trey Lance holds in the future, the 49ers. But this kid is special. We know this. When healthy, Jimmy Garoppolo is a winner. When healthy, he is a winner. And he will win games. The Niners are confident that he will win games if he's healthy. Now, the good part is, God forbid, something happens to him. We have Trey Lance waiting on deck. We don't have to worry about Nick Mullins. We don't have to worry about C.J. Beathard. God forbid something happens to Jimmy, we have Trey Lance waiting on deck. And that's something that we didn't have last year. So I hope that Jimmy plays well. I hope Jimmy plays great. The better Jimmy plays, the more games we're going to win, and the more that we allow Trey Lance to develop under Kyle Shanahan's offensive, and the better he'll get. There is no rush to bring in Trey Lance, in my opinion. I hope so, John. What's up, John Aker? I hope so. I hope he has a great year. The kid is special. The kid is humble. I understand we deal with injuries. I understand he gets injured. But the kid is respectful. He was the first one to reach out to Trey Lance by text to welcome him to the Niners. That is special in my book, man. So I wish him the best. I really do. If you hear my birds in the background, I apologize. The louder I get, the louder they get. They love hearing my voice. Please don't rush Trey Lance. Perhaps Jimmy may have a great year. I agree with you, Kimo. 100% agree with you, Kimo. There's no need to rush Trey Lance, especially if Jimmy G is having a great year. Let's continue to hope that Jimmy thrives this year. Let's hope we get a 2019 Jimmy and not a 2020 Jimmy. And that means we're going to be winning a lot of games. We're going to be in contention to the playoffs. And our future is learning, and learning. You can't go wrong with that. What's up, Tanisha? How you doing, Tanisha? Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. I agree, Kimo. Let's see what Jimmy does in his few games. Yep, I agree with you guys. All right. There we go. There's the defense right there. This guy right here, Javon Kinlaw. I have so much high expectation for Javon Kinlaw. I really believe this kid is going to just take off this year. He's going to take off for the defense. This guy's going to be special. I know that a lot of 49er fans were like, we let go of DeForest Buckner and, oh my God, we replace him with this kid. And well, listen, I am not comparing him to DeForest Buckner, but Javon Kinlaw, in my humble opinion, is going to be a special animal. And I mean that respectfully for him. I think he's going to have a great year. I expect him to have a great year. And I expect his production to go higher. This guy's a beast. And I expect him year 2 to show the rest of the 49er faithful that it was a good choice taking him first overall last year. I like what I see in him, and I want to see him do more. What about Jalen Hurts? Is he practice? For what I heard from John Lynch, he is recovering very well. He is ahead of schedule, and they perceive him to be fine. But we're not going to know until training camp. I don't think he's going to play. I don't think he's going to be out there in OTAs. I think if he does come out on the field, it will be in training camp. Yes, most definitely, Tanisha. If anything, I can't guarantee that Trey Lance will play in the regular season, but he'll definitely play in the preseason. Matter of fact, he's going to play more than Jimmy in the preseason. Expect to see a lot of Trey Lance in the preseason games. We only get 3 this year, but expect to see a lot of Trey Lance in preseason. Most definitely. Yeah, I don't think that's what he told him. Maybe that's not what he told him directly, but in the back of his mind, he's like, "Oh, youngster, you ain't taking my job." You can never say never, but honestly, Joe, the whole Julio Jones situation, I just don't see it happening. Would I like Julio Jones to come to the Niners? Hell yeah. I think Julio Jones still has a lot left in the tank. I think he can be very productive. He can be that number 1 receiver, but the money that he's going to require is just too much money for the Niners. Right now, the Niners are in the verge of extending Fred Warner's contract. Let me ask you guys this question. If you had to choose between Julio Jones or Fred Warner, who would you choose? Fred Warner or Julio Jones? Because I oppose that question because if we bring in Julio, I don't see us signing Fred Warner to that extension. And I'd rather sign Fred Warner to that extension than bring in Julio. I just don't think we can do both, in my humble opinion. I know a lot of us want Julio Jones. Julio Jones, it's a great receiver. I would love to see what Julio Jones can do here in San Francisco, but not in the expense of Fred Warner. And for what I'm looking at the comments, a lot of you guys agree. Fred Warner, Fred Warner, Fred Warner. And this is why, Joe, I don't expect Julio to be part of the Niners because the Niners are focusing and extending Fred Warner's contract. And this is where they're going to use that, because you got to remember, they still haven't signed what's his name? Our first 2 draft picks. Well, I threw a blank there. I threw a blank. They still haven't signed Trey Lance, and they haven't signed Trey Sermon. What's up, Josh Blackwood? How you doing, brother? Yeah, that's a lot of money, bro. That's a lot of money for Julio. Oops. Doing this little bit too fast. All right. This kid right here. This kid here. Austin Watkins Jr. Believe he's 6'3", 6'4". Undrafted free agent. I'm looking forward to seeing what he looks like in OTAs. I'm looking forward to see what he can do on training camp. And I'm definitely looking forward to see what he does in the preseason. This kid is sporting number 7. The last time number 7 was worn, I believe it was Kaepernick, right? Or that kicker we had temporarily. Bosa. What's up, Evans? I agree. We need Fred. Yeah, most importantly. I know we love Julio. A lot of us love Julio. The idea of bringing in Julio Jones sounds great. And I believe I would love to see Julio Jones as a 49er. But not for the money that he's demanding. And I don't think the trade competition will be that much. I don't think Atlanta is in position to ask for a high draft pick. Atlanta is trying to dump Julio Jones' salary on another team. So I don't think their asking price is going to be high for Julio, in my humble opinion, because they're trying to dump that contract. But nevertheless, even for a second round pick, to pay Julio all that money, no, I'd rather focus on Fred Warner, our future middle linebacker, get him signed and get him rock and rolling, man. I'd rather put the emphasis on Fred Warner than bring in Julio, in my humble opinion. True. I couldn't disagree with you, John. I still think we need a slot receiver, though. But I hear what you're saying, and I know where you're coming from. A lot of people don't have that luxury of having a Kittle. Matter of fact, since we're talking about Kittle, there he is. A lot of us don't have the option of having number 85 there as a pass catcher. But even with Kittle, we still need a solid slot receiver. But I know what you mean, John. We are blessed to have Mr. Kittles on our team, man. Most definitely. Cut Jimmy G and trade Julio Jones. He just taking up salary cap. Now, see, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I'm sorry, Papi Pablo Triple X. I know a lot of you guys want to see the new toy. I know you guys want to see Trey Lance. But Trey Lance, as good as he will be, as good as we believe he will be going forward, he is still a rookie. He is a rookie on a playoff type of team. The San Francisco 49ers are ready to make the playoffs. They have the roster for the playoffs. They are ready to go forward. Do you really want to put all that responsibility on a young kid like Trey? Or do you want to go with Garoppolo, which we know he can win games? He's capable of winning games if he's healthy. And develop, not rush, not throw in, but develop Trey Lance week by week and allow him to earn and bring him in, not because we have to, but because we want to. And I think there's a big difference between bringing a quarterback because we have to bring him in towards bringing him in because we want to bring him in because they feel that he's ready to play. So I understand a lot of you guys don't like Jimmy, but I think Jimmy gives us the better options of winning immediately. And then we can develop Trey. And then maybe after the bye, depending on how Jimmy is doing, we can kind of bring in Trey Lance slowly instead of throwing him to the wolves, man. Now, this guy right here, Mike McGlinchey, I expect him to have a great year. I really do. Now that we have this kid, Aaron Banks, from Notre Dame, he knows Mike McGlinchey is familiar with Aaron Banks. I think last year, because we had Daniel Brunskill at right guard, a lot of the pressure fell on Mike McGlinchey doing his job and trying to help out the guard position. I think by having Aaron Banks manage and take control of that guard position, it will allow Mike McGlinchey to completely focus on his position only. And because we have someone of the caliber of Aaron Banks playing the right guard, I believe that Mike McGlinchey is going to have a great year for us. And I heard he gained some weight. So that's positive. He bulked up. So let's keep our fingers crossed and let's hope that we get the best from Mike McGlinchey this year. Who will you double cover, though? George Kittle or Julio Jones? I'm okay with Kittle. I understand that Julio Jones is a nice piece, but he's already up there in age. He's not the same Julio, although he's still great. But like I said earlier, if we had the money to bring in Julio, I will be all for it. I would. If we had the money to bring in Julio, can you imagine Deebo Samuel, Julio, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, our running game? We will be unstoppable with the offensive line that we have. But we don't have the money. That money that we do have, we got to sign Trey Lance. We got to sign Trey Sermon, and we want to extend Fred Warner's contract. I think Fred Warner is the key right now, or the most important thing that we need to do this offseason is making sure Fred Warner goes nowhere. I don't agree, bro. I think you're letting your emotions take the better of you, Pablo. What's up, Gabriel? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. They are said the best move I've seen in a long time with the franchise is the one they made. It's Alex Smith, Mahomes type of scenario. Yeah. I understand people want to see Trey Lance. I understand. They want to see him. But listen, if Trey Lance just blows the water out of the coaches and the OTAs and the mini camp, and he plays superb in these games that they're going to play, preseason, I'm okay in bringing in Trey Lance. But I need Trey Lance to completely blow the doors off the hinges in order for us to bring him in. But if we are developing him, if we're bringing him in, why rush him? We have the luxury. Understand, we are not the Jaguars. We are not the Jets. We are a Super Bowl caliber roster that just drafted high. We have the potential of winning it all in 2021. Why not go with the experience in Jimmy Garoppolo, knowing that we have one hell of a backup in Trey Lance, ready to go when his number's called? Why rush him? I don't agree on rushing him. I know a lot of you guys want to see him play. So do I. But why rush him? Don't worry. He's going to play for years to come. And we're going to have so much fun watching him play. Let's hope that Jimmy has a great year, because that'll be beneficial to us more ways than one. How? It'll be beneficial for us because we'll be winning games. It'll be beneficial for us. Why? Because Trey Lance will be learning, being developed with no pressure of being thrown in there. How else would it be beneficial to the Niners? Well, next year, when the Niners decide to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, again, remember in 2022, he doesn't have a trade clause like he had in 2021. Niners could trade him anywhere. The value of Jimmy Garoppolo just goes higher. The better Jimmy plays, the higher the value is raised for Jimmy. That means we can get a better draft pick for him in 2022. That's a win-win situation, in my opinion. Exactly. I mean, Trey Lance, I believe, is going to be special. I believe he's going to be great, especially underneath Kyle Shanahan. But his time to shine will come. It will eventually come. But it's not going to be as fast as you guys want it to be, because it doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to go start week one like the Jets with Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence with the Jaguars. He doesn't need to start week one. We have Jimmy. I know what it is you guys are tired of Jimmy. I know. It's like if you guys have a brand new convertible Corvette that you just bought, why do you want to drive the Honda Civic? Right? I understand the excitement. I understand the desire to see Trey Lance do his thing. But you got to be patient. You got to allow Trey Lance to develop. And you got to allow to John and Kyle Shanahan to bring him in when he's ready to go. And not put the pressure on them to bring him in sooner. Because the worst mistake the Niners can do is mess up the confidence of Trey Lance. If you bring Trey Lance before he's ready and you mess up his confidence, that is hard to get back. May I remind a lot of you the David Carr situation. David Carr was thrown in with a bad offensive line. Now, I understand the Texans are not the Niners today. But his confidence was shot. And David Carr, I'm not talking about Derek, I'm talking about David Carr. For a lot of you guys that are youngsters, he was never able to recover from that craziness thing that happened in Texas. And so I rather just bring in Mr. Trey Lance when he is ready to go. Out of those three receivers, Glenn, as much as I love Larry Fitzgerald, great guy, great receiver, Austin Jeffrey is kind of a. If I had to choose between one of those three to come in to be a veteran, I would love to see Golden Tate. I think Golden Tate in Kyle Shanahan's offense will be great. That's just my opinion. If I had to choose one of those three, I would love to bring in Golden Tate and give him a run. Let Jimmy ball out so we can upper his... Yeah, exactly. 100% agree. They have just lit a fire under Jimmy. It's a win-win situation. Front office is brilliant. I agree with you, John. I agree with you and I agree with Matthew. It's a win-win situation. The better Jimmy does, the better for us for the season, the better for Trey Lance as he develops without the pressure of having to go in there right away. And the value that we get for him will be even better. That's a win-win. Listen, just go with the comfort of knowing. God forbid something happens to Jimmy. Week 6, week 7, week 8. We don't have to rely on freaking Nick Mullins. We don't have to rely on CJ Beathard. We will have this kid right here, Trey Lance, developing, getting ready, getting familiar, learning the offense, learning the plays, learning everything. So whenever his number is called, if it needs to be called, he will be ready to rock and roll. And with that, I'm excited to go into the 2021 season knowing that if God forbid something happens to Jimmy, we don't have to miss a beat with Mr. Lance waiting in the wings. There's Jason Verrett, sporting number 2. There's Raheem Mostert and Greenlaw. So I'm waiting. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. This kid right here, Jason Verrett. I'm hoping he has a great year. I'm hoping he has a great year for us. I pray that he stays healthy because, if anything, we are thin when it comes to our corners. So I expect and I pray that we have a great year, a healthy year from one, Jason Verrett. If he can stay healthy, we're going to have a great year. So let's all pray. Keep our fingers crossed that Mr. Jason Verrett has a good year. Let's see here. No, correct. And that's why I make sure I clarify that the Texans were not the Niners of this year. But my point being is, once you mess up the confidence of a quarterback, any position, but mainly a quarterback, it's really hard to bounce back from. That was my point. But yes, the Niners are definitely not the same Texans of that year when David Carr came out. But you want to make sure you don't rush Trey Lance into something that he doesn't have to be rushed into. Now, if we didn't have Jimmy, I can understand starting Trey Lance. I would start Trey Lance over Nick Mullins if that's all we had. But we have the luxury of having Jimmy Garoppolo on this offense. He knows the offense. He knows how to run the offense. And he knows how to execute it very well. The problem is that we all know this. He doesn't stay healthy. But if we can get a whole season from him, that'll be great. But if he gets hurt and I hope he doesn't, knock on wood, we have Trey Lance learning, developing behind the scenes, and if his number's ever called, then we'll bring him in. But there's no reason to rush him in if we don't have to, in my opinion. Hey, what's up, Nathaniel? I think we should skip on the wide receivers and take a long look at Zach Ertz. As for the Trey Lance talk, unless Jimmy gets hurt, anyone thinking he starts ahead of Jimmy in 2020 is delusional. Where did Mullins and Beathard go? I forgot where Beathard went. I don't know if I think Mullins is undrafted right now. I mean, undrafted. He's still a free agent. Let me put it this way, Tanisha. I don't know where they went, but I do know where they're not. I don't know where they went, but I know where they're not. And they're not part of the 49ers. And to me, that's good enough for me. I'm glad those guys are no longer part of the 49ers. There's our boy, Fred Warner. See, this guy right here is the reason why they're not going to bring Julio Jones in. If they're going to spend the money, they're going to spend it in extending Fred Warner's contract and not giving it to a receiver that is pushing past his prime, especially when you're developing, you're bringing in the young Debo and the Brandon Ayuk. You don't want to take time away for those young kids from playing, man. So I know a lot of you guys are infatuated with Julio Jones, the name, what he's done. But listen, if it ain't broken, why fix it? Fred Warner should be the priority of the 49ers in spending the money and not bringing in Julio Jones, in my opinion. What's up, Omar Jimenez? How you doing, brother? First and foremost, welcome to the show, Omar Jimenez. Welcome to the show, bro. Watson, I wouldn't mind, but the whole situation. Listen, right now, what you're asking is the what ifs. What if Rodgers is traded by the Packers? What if Watson gets cleared? I'm not going to dwell too much on the what ifs. What I'm going to focus on is what's at hand. We have a potential great rookie that could be developed into a great player underneath the utilities of Kyle Shanahan. And I understand Aaron Rodgers is a proven commodity. I know Aaron Rodgers has played phenomenal for the Green Bay Packers, but the reality is he isn't going anywhere. And okay, let's say we bring Aaron Rodgers. So maybe we win a championship with him, maybe we don't. But once Aaron Rodgers retires, now what? Now what direction are we going? Because you just gave up Trey Lance. That's why the Deshaun Watson is a little bit more, I'd be more willing to do so because he's still our future. He's a young kid. But Aaron Rodgers, I mean, we don't know what we're going to get in Trey Lance. But what I do know is that Aaron Rodgers can win us a Super Bowl, but I'd rather be in contention every year than just 1 year here or 1 year there. Once Rodgers retires or he gets hurt, now we're stuck back at ground zero with no quarterback. We finally might have drafted the quarterback of the future. We may have a better Rodgers and Trey Lance. We may have a better Watson and Trey Lance. We'll never know. Only time will tell. But I like the combination of the talent of Trey Lance and the coaching of Kyle Shanahan put together. I think we're going to get a good outcome between those two. I love that marriage. And I'd rather go with that marriage, Omar, than bringing in Rodgers or Watson, in my opinion. I agree, John. I understand that we don't know what we're having. We don't know what Lance is going to be. We don't. We really don't. Trey Lance can turn into the Deshaun Watson, or he can be the next Mitch Trubisky. We don't know. What I do know is that I like the coaching staff, the team in San Francisco, and I like that idea of bringing in Trey Lance and his type of tributes into a coaching staff that is able to teach him and guide him the right way. I like the marriage between him and Trey Lance. So there's no guarantees in how Trey Lance will turn. We don't know what he's going to be, but I like to see what he turns out to be. I can't wait to see him play under Kyle Shanahan. But I'm not ready to watch him this year. I want him to develop. Why? Because once I start seeing Trey Lance, I don't want to look back. I want Trey Lance to learn the system, be ready to go. And then in 2022, when we let him loose, man, we start winning championship after championship after championship with him. That's what I want. Let's see here. CJ is in Jacksonville and Mullins is at unemployment. He's in the unemployment line. Okay. Watson, Rodgers, not happening. Keep Trey. We can afford other goodies. Trust coaches' ideas. Trust the process, right? Brick by brick. Just remind everyone in 3 games against Jimmy G, Aaron Rodgers had lost and had horrible games. Well, that had a lot to do with our defense, but I hear what you're saying. Has outperformed him in every game they played. Tanisha says, I love the hype about Trey Lance, but he is capable of getting injured also. So who is the backup for Trey? Just curious. I mean, that's what the Niners are working out right now with the number 3 quarterback. They have Johnson. They have that kid they brought over from Philadelphia, Sellafield. There's quite a few that are working out the 3rd number spot. But honestly, Tanisha, that's way, way, way too in front of us. I understand looking forward. Oh, that's right. Josh Rosen is back there fighting for the number 3rd spot. So we'll have to wait and see. But there's a couple of quarterbacks fighting to get that 3rd role behind Trey and Jimmy. Yeah, I mean, listen, every GM is going to do their due diligence. Every GM will be stupid enough not to check out every option. Of course, they looked into the Aaron Rodgers. But what they want, or what Green Bay would want for Aaron Rodgers, is just too high for me. Honestly, it's just, I wouldn't do it. I know Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. I know he won the MVP with Green Bay, but yet, listen, Aaron Rodgers won the MVP, right? Good for him. But he still lost 2 years in a row in the NFC Championship game. You know what I mean? That's just the reality of it. I'm pretty sure the Packers would give up that MVP. He would give up that MVP if he had the chance to make it to the Super Bowl. What's up, Rob? That's going to be entirely up to him, but I heard he's a very smart kid. He's picking it up very well. Now, keep in mind, even if he picks up the system very well, even if he picks up the offense very well, and he learns it. But if Jimmy G is rocking and rolling, if Jimmy G is playing good, just because Lance picks up the system, and I'm not referring this to you, Rob, I'm just talking in general. Just because Trey Lance is able to learn the offensive doesn't mean he has to play right away. That just means that it reassures us that if Jimmy gets hurt, that he is capable of coming in and not missing a beat and taking over for Jimmy. But the only way I would love to see Trey Lance take over for Jimmy would be if Jimmy gets injured, or if Jimmy just, he's throwing interception after interception after interception. I don't expect that to happen, but I just don't want to rush Trey Lance. Listen, anybody that knows me, I'm not the most patient man in the world. I am very impatient. I want things now. I want to see Trey Lance, but I have to lower my expectations and tell myself, okay, all right, bro, listen. As much as you want to see Trey Lance, is it beneficial for the team to bring him in if they have Jimmy? And the answer is no. It is not beneficial because we have the luxury of having Jimmy G start for us. If we are, by the time we get to our bye, and we have, I believe it's week 6, if we are 5-1 or 4-1, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. There's no reason to bring, or if we're 3-2, I know the minute we lose a game or two, people are going to start chanting for Trey Lance. That's just the human nature of the fanatics of the Niner fans. They really don't know too much about football. They just excited to watch the new toy, so they're going to start calling in for his name. But I trust that Kyle Shanahan will know when to bring in Trey Lance if he needs to be brought in. Oops. Yeah, I'm still sweating, Neko, but I'm doing a little bit better. I've been sleeping the last couple of days. That's why you guys haven't seen me on here. But yeah, I got bored today, man. I was bored laying in bed all damn day, so I just came to my office and said, you know what, I'm going to do a live. What are the chances of us landing Julio Jones? Why? Anytime we are interested in him, signing him. The thing is, one thing that is always going to be attached to the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm assuming this is attached to every team. It doesn't matter who gets cut or who's going to be available or who needs to be traded. Everybody's going to try to tie it to the 49ers. If this player gets cut, all the Niners should sign him. If this player is on the trade market, all the Niners should trade for him. It's the common theme. Bring in this guy. Bring in that guy. I'm confident with Deebo Samuel. I'm confident with Brandon Ayuk. I want to see them develop even further. I want them to develop even more. I am more curious in bringing somebody in to play that third number 3 spot than I am bringing a number 1 receiver. It has been proven that we don't need a number 1 receiver to make it to the Super Bowl. We made it in 2019 and we didn't have a number 1, a true number 1. And we have George Kittle. We have George freaking Kittle. Julio Jones is a nice toy to have, but not at the cost that he comes, not the price tag that he comes with. There you go. There's Debo right there. Why would you want to take the balls out of Debo's hands to try to put in a Julio when you have a young, developing player that is going to continue to get better every year? Well, the thing about that, Matthew, is every player it learns. It's just like life within itself. Everybody learns at a different pace. Some players learn quick, some players don't. I've been hearing that Trey Lance has been picking it up, but there's so much to learn. You know what I mean? And the longer he takes him the longer we can have him learn without putting him in, the better for us, especially if Jimmy's doing great, in my opinion. Yeah, see, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with using Trey Lance to bring in your third overall quarterback that you invested 2 future first rounds and a third, to have him get hurt on a gadget play. Hell no. If Trey Lance comes in, it's because he's coming in for Jimmy G and he's taking over the offense and he's going to run with the offense and no looking back. But I would not want to see him in any gadget plays, honestly. I know that's what they did with Kaepernick. I just don't want to see that with Trey Lance, personally. I'm not saying they won't. I just hope they don't. I would love to bring Sherman back for the right price. And I think the longer he's out there without signing with a potential team, the chances, he wants to play for a contender. Sherman wants to play for a contender. He doesn't, one thing for what I've been reading, Sherman doesn't want to go to the East Coast. So the team that he may go to is back to Seattle, us, or the Las Vegas Raiders are probably the 3 teams that he's looking at. But there's no rush for him to make that decision. There's no rush for him to make that decision. Debo, I'm telling you. Now this kid right here, I'm hoping he has a great year. I'm expecting Richie James to have a good year, and hopefully he can be our number 3 receiver in the slot. This kid right here. Let's see what happens. I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping he gets it. Do you think that college football is different from the NFL? Do you think college football is different? It's played different. There's a lot of different rules. I don't quite understand your question, Tanisha. The rules are different. A lot of things are different from college to pros. But I don't think, scheme-wise, it's probably all the same. It's just the rules. Plus, in NFL, you're playing with full-grown men. In college, you're playing with a lot of youngsters. So maybe somebody else can answer that question for you in a better than I can. I still think he has a little bit left in the tank, Maverick. I still think Sherman has a little bit in the tank. Okay, the rule, yeah. There's a when it comes to the rules between college and the professional NFL are different. A lot of differences between the rules. Not a lot, but there's quite a few differences between the rules of the NFL and college, Tanisha. And I love your questions, by the way. I appreciate you bringing up your questions. This is the kid. This is the kid that I want to see this year. I'm excited about. This is one of the kids that I'm excited to watch. Is this kid Sermon? I've been watching a lot of tape on him since we drafted him. Underneath Kyle Shanahan, man, this kid is going to be special, and I really believe he is the future over Raheem Mostert. I wouldn't be surprised if Raheem Mostert doesn't come back next year. I think this kid was drafted to honestly replace Raheem Mostert. But this year is going to be fun to watch him, Raheem Mostert, Wilson, and Elijah Mitchell play this year. I think that'll be fun. Jeff Wilson Jr. with the beard. Look at him, growing the beard. He's growing the beard. There's Javon Kinlaw. I expect a lot from this kid. I'm hoping he plays great for us. This kid, I'm looking forward on seeing what he can do. Our new rookie, Aaron Banks. This kid looks like he's fun to watch. He's going to be fun to watch. Play right guard. He's a mauler. He's a big boy. I'm excited. I'm excited to see this kid next to Mike McClinchy and next to Alex. This whole the offensive line in general is going to be fun to watch in 2021. I'm going to enjoy watching this offensive line come together and watching us run the ball, do the play action, do all the RPOs, jet sweeps. Everything's going to be fun behind this offensive line. Get your popcorn ready. The show is going to be fun to watch this year. Excuse me. No, Mullins is gone. Mullins is no longer part of the team, Tom. He is on the unemployment. Him and CJ are both gone. Oh, there you go, Glenn. Thank you. I appreciate that, Glenn. Thank you for bringing clarification to Miss Tanisha regarding the comparison of college and pros. Much appreciated, brother. Yeah, he's unemployed. He is unemployed, and no longer part of this team. And good riddance. This guy here, between him and Sermon, the 1-2 punch is going to be fun to watch. I'm excited to see him play. Let's see what we get out of him. Yeah, I seen it. Yeah, that was one of the games that I watched. And as painful as it was to watch, I am glad he's on our team now. As painful as it was to watch him play against the Clemson Tigers, I am definitely glad that he's on the 49ers now. If you can't beat them, join them. So I cannot wait to see him. Now, this guy was brought in from the Las Vegas Raiders. This is Arden Key. I'm looking forward to see what he can do. I'm not going to speak too much upon him because I don't know what he's going to contribute to the team, but we're going to have to wait and see. But whatever he can bring positive toward the team, the better. I don't have big expectations for him, but anything he can bring, if anything, just be that rotational D lineman. Be that rotational D lineman, so that we can keep fresh legs at all times. Will be good enough for me. Now, Kevin White, this kid, I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I don't know what to expect. I'm not even going to ask Nathaniel because I already know the answer to him. But the answer from him, not to him, but from him. I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping that Kevin White is able to produce. I'm hoping he's able to show the 49ers that he can be our future receiver for us, but I don't know. I don't know what to expect from him. I really, really don't. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, and I hope he plays good. Now, there in the middle, number 49, that's your boy Mitchell, Elijah Mitchell. I like him. There's Gollman. He came out of Clemson. He was a Clemson Tiger. Went to the Giants. Came from us in free agency. Now, truth be told, I believe this guy here is probably the odd man out. I don't think he'll be in the team come the season, but we'll have to wait and see. If he's able to impress, he's able to show the coaches something different, maybe, but I don't know. I just don't see him making the squad over Benjamin Mitchell or Sermon. Excuse my sniffles. Forgive me for that. What was one of the questions here? Okay, Tanisha, I'm about to call it a night as well. I'm starting to feel it again. I'm pushing myself. I shouldn't push myself too much, but good night, Tanisha. God bless you. Thank you for being part of the Niner Sickness Report. Always a pleasure, always an honor to have you on the show. Have a wonderful, blessed night, and we'll see you on the next show, Tanisha. Kevin White is good, but he's always caught up in injuries. Okay. So that is his downfall, injuries. Okay, I wasn't too sure on Kevin White. But that's what it is injuries, huh? Okay. I forgot I have to go to Kaiser and get my medication. The good thing is Kaiser is open 24 hours. The pharmacy is open 24 hours. So that's the good thing about that. But okay. Well, even if he's just a good rotational player, I guess that'll be good. But yeah. And Kevin, what does it say about Kevin? Well, Nathaniel, you think everybody's trash if you're not a starter. But Kevin White hasn't proven anything. And according to Matthew, he's always hurt. So I guess you're not far off. Just calling somebody trash is kind of harsh, but I hear you. What about this kid right here, Jordan Willis? I think Jordan Willis fits in the same category as a rotational defensive lineman, just to keep the fresh legs going. Let's see what he does. He showed promise last year. Hopefully he can show more promise this year. There's our boy Sherman. Can't wait to see him play. And there's Garoppolo. Don't be looking at his butt, guys. Oh. Galliman was screwed in the draft. And drafting a Mitchell and Sherman. He's probably not going to make the final 53. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I agree with you there. It is going to be difficult him making the squad. What's up, Emmanuel? Well, I'm glad you're back there, Mr. King. I'm glad you're back. Welcome back. We'll see what happens with Jalen Hurd. Again, he hasn't played in 3 years, so realistically, there's really nothing to go by with him. I mean, the potential's there. What he did out of Baylor was great, but I guess with him, I have to see him play. And I got to see him first and foremost, I got to see him being healthy. I got to see him make the squad being healthy. And then I'll give you my honest opinion about Mr. Jalen Hurd. At this point, 3 years hasn't played. If there's anything positive, is that he knows the playbook. All right? He knows the playbook. But if you're not healthy enough to play it, whether you know it or not, the best ability is availability. So there it is. There's Mr. Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward. I like Jimmy Ward. A lot of you guys don't, but I like him. There is Mr. You can tell that Mike McClinchy gained some weight. You could tell he added weight to his belly. My belly. And then there's Mr. We were just talking about him. I'm hoping he makes the team, but I doubt it. I doubt it, man. But I hope the way Galliman, if anything else, he plays good. He looks good. Plays great in the preseason. And maybe he gets picked up by another team that he can be a contender on. He's a follow Clemson Tigers, man, so I wish him well. I wish it would be here, but to the point that Nathaniel made earlier, the worst thing that could happen to him is us drafting not one, but 2 running backs. I think if we would have just drafted Trey Sermon, he still would have had a chance. But the fact that the way the chips fell in round 6 and the best available player at that time was Elijah Mitchell, that kind of sealed the deal for Mr. Wayne Galliman. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right. There you go. There's Kittle. Does Kittle stay healthy for all 17 games? Or will Kittle miss a few games? Stay tuned. All right. The players are about to wrap up here. Practice, and that is my cue. I'm taking my cue from the players. They're about to wrap up from practice. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap up this podcast tonight. I just want to thank each and every one of you for being part of it. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight and spending Saturday evening with me. I appreciate all of you guys that tune in. Continue to keep me in prayer. that I'll continue to get better. I was feeling it a little bit better, but now I'm starting to feel it again. So maybe I pushed myself a bit too much today. I started to clean around the house a little bit, the backyard, and now I did this live. And hopefully my wife's like, you got to take it easy. So keep me in prayer, guys. Have a wonderful night. Continue for those that watch NBA, enjoy the playoffs for the basketball. And I will be enjoying my Lakers take on. Oh my goodness! Sorry about that. My throat got stuck there. The Phoenix Suns in the first round of the playoffs. It doesn't look good for my Lakers. They're banged up, but it's a whole different ball game when you play in the playoffs. But anyway, all right, guys, have a wonderful night. God bless you. Take care and enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to go and take a nap because I'm feeling it. Well, I got to go pick up my medication. Then I'm going to go and take a nap. But I'll talk to you guys later. God bless you. We'll see you on my next show. Peace.